Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to a little mini series about one man's quest to raise his barbecue game. Now, I'm like a lot of guys, I like to cook outdoors and I like to think that I've graduated beyond just massacring sausages. I like to grill, I like to use indirect heat, I like to take on long and slow projects from time to time. And recently I've realised that I just need to think about improving the quality of my barbecue kit. So I thought I'd share my journey with you. So this is my current go-to. It's a standard Webber Kettle. It's a great piece of kit. Now, there are cheaper kettles available on the market, but they simply aren't as well built as this. This is made out of quite a thick gauge steel, and more importantly, it's coated with a porcelain paint, so it won't rot. You can leave this outside all winter if you so like, and can do so for years. It's great for direct grilling, it's great for indirect, and you know, I've used it for 9-10 hour cooks as well. It's a great piece of kit, but it has two problems. The first is that it doesn't have a great capacity, really. So if you're looking to do the occasional bigger event, it doesn't really work. And secondly, although it'll hold low temperatures for a long time, it's not particularly fuel efficient. So it's time to move on. But what to move on to? Well, there are a number of options out there. One of the most interesting is the Kamado, the ceramic Kamado. But these are expensive. You know, this is the basic kettle, the original Webber design, which cost over £100, I think. But a Kamado is going to cost probably 10 times or more the price that I paid for this. You're looking at something like £1,500, all the way up to almost £2,000, depending on your brand and the options that you want. I'm not so sure that my barbecuing in terms of capacity and regularity really justifies that. So are there other options? Well, yes, there are. There's the Webber Smoky Mountain, which is the next smoker up from this one in the Webber category. Very popular, works well, and particularly holds low temperatures over a long period of time. And there are other options. There are similar smokers from Pro Q and so on. The difficulty with these really is the Webber Smoky Mountain, its biggest size, is really approaching £400 or so, so it's not a cheap purchase. New on the blocks really is the pit barrel smoker, which is great because it uses rails at the top and you hang your meat over direct coals, which gives a slightly faster cook, slightly higher temperatures, perhaps around about 275, 300 I think. It's very low key, there's not much you can play around with, but people love it and they say it gets great results. But maybe it's not quite flexible enough for me. The other thing about Webber, pit barrel and all the rest of them is that they're American and I'm based here in England. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you watch the barbecue channels, you'll see our American friends put a lot of importance on locally produced goods and locally fabricated materials, and that's great, that's fine. But since the Americans have decided to install a complete arsehole or asshole as president, I think I'm going to try and look for a homegrown option, an English option. And I think I found it. And I found a wonderful looking device from Bristol Drum Smokers. Here it is. Now you have to admit, that looks very sexy for a smoker. So, do I go for this, the Smoky Mountain, the pit barrel cooker, or do I go for the Bristol drum smoke? Well, I've gone for the Bristol. and it's comparable in price to the larger Webber Smoky Mountain. There are a number of attachments you can choose from, so I placed my order. I'm just waiting for it. So this channel is going to be the story of using this smoker. So when it arrives, I'll show it to you. We'll look at it, and then we'll try it on some cooks, and then we'll try it on maybe some things that are, you know, in terms of recipes and processes, a little bit broader in their spirit than some of those you'd find in the States. So it's my journey back to my Webber smoker. I'll be keeping using this for smaller smokes and grills, but I'm very excited about the Bristol drum smoker, and I shall share my journey with you.